Paul Foster-Bell.
Tēnā koe, tēnā koutou katoa I ngā mema o te whare. So I rise in support of this very fine bill, the Kermadec Ocean Sanctuary Bill, introduced by our excellent Minister for the Environment, the Honourable Dr Nick Smith, who has been a passionate champion of the environment and conservation issues in this country over his long political career. Sir, this is a fine bill. It does a number of things which my colleagues have already canvassed on this side of the House, and it is important that we celebrate the fact that we are protecting one of the largest ocean sanctuary areas on the planet, an area equivalent in size to France. And as a country which has an enormous maritime area, perhaps the fourth or fifth largest in the world, depending on how it's measured, as part of the wider realm of New Zealand, I think it is a major achievement of this government and will be part of the legacy of this national government that this contribution to protecting and safeguarding such a precious resource has been taken. Sir, on this side of the House it has been mentioned the wildlife and the sea life that will be protected. 6 million birds coming from 39 different species, 35 species of whales and dolphins, and also 3 different kinds of turtles. But I want to touch on something that I suppose is of personal relevance to me. Through my father's mother's mother, I whakapapa to Te Aupuri. And I am delighted to see that Te Aupuri does have a place on the governance board of this sanctuary under this legislation, along with Ngāti Kuri. And this is particularly important because of the linkages that the Kermadecs provided into the Pacific for our ancestors and forebears. During that period of migration from Hawaii or the parts of Polynesia where Māori originated from perhaps 1,000 years ago, there have been left archaeological remains on Kermadec, including obsidian tools that show evidence not only of migration but actually of, for a period of time, two-way travel between New Zealand and the Pacific by our ancestors. And I'd refer members, if they're interested, to the research by Professor Foss Leach conducted in the early 80s, which is very interesting and effectively demonstrates that for a period of time the immigration and trade between the Pacific and Aotearoa was in fact two-way, a very early example of globalisation. So, sir, this is a wonderful piece of legislation. It should be celebrated throughout the land. I know the committee, chaired ably by the member for the Coromandel, Scott Simpson, will look at it carefully, but it is an excellent piece of legislation and I commend it to the House.